Good evening and welcome to Telling Tales. Here we tell atmospheric stories together through the medium of tabletop role-playing games. It's Monday night, so we are playing Vaesen, Mythic Britain and Ireland. Wait, wrong hand. Mythic Britain and Ireland. It's lots of fun. We're having fun. We're all having fun, especially the players are having fun. So it's a 19th century Gothic Victoriana kind of folk tale, like a Grimm's fairy tales kind of situation, and it's great. Before we get started back into the game proper, some promo stuff. There are links below the video to our YouTube if you're watching on Twitch, our Twitch if you're watching on YouTube, our social media, our Discord, which you should join and come and chat with us and the other lovely people who watch and are involved with the channel, and also our Patreon. So if you enjoy what we do, you can support us on there. Other things we do on the channel: Wednesday nights, Simba Room. Nothing on this Thursday, I don't think, but next Thursday, the next exciting chapter in the Wicked Ones game that Sam is running. And we also run some one-shot adventures on weekend days. The next one is going to be Grok on the 12th of November. To keep up to date on all that stuff, if you do join us on the Discord, there's an events tab, and you can see as and when things are announced and if anything changes. But for now, let's get back into the game. So let's bring on John, who plays B, to give us a recap. Hey, John.
Hi, Jonny.
Remind us of B and remind us a little bit of the story thus far, please.
B is a hunter who, until recently, lived in the forest, sort of off-grid, away from the newly industrialized cities, along with her young son, Adam. B now finds herself in the city and part of the Apollonian Society through merit of all of the player characters just happening to be in either the right or wrong place at right or wrong time. Delete as applicable. We all saw things that we weren't supposed to see, and so we're very politely recruited in to a society tasked with sort of dealing with Vaesen. We stopped a red cap from murdering people up in Lancashire. We stopped some pixies from playing tricks on a poor town down in Cornwall. We blew up a sea serpent with dynamite, damaging possibly very old or very new parts of the London sewage system. And we failed to save a werewolf, or an unwitting werewolf who was died due to things that we took part in, but not directly at our hand, and we're still figuring out how we feel about all of that. But right now we are in Hull no, we're not in Hull. We were in Hull investigating the disappearance of our bosses, Rupert and Eleanor, who were lost at sea along with a large passenger ship. And our journey has taken us up to, I'm really bad at geography, Cumbria? Northumberland? One of those places. Northumberland.
Cumbria is the other side.
Justin, stop mocking me. I'm really bad at anything north of Yorkshire. Yeah, that's where we are, and we're currently staying in a B&B with a very strange owner and a key that keeps going missing. That's about it. That's about the summary.
Yep. Cool, thank you. Let's have Steve, who plays Henry Bonneville. Hi, Steve.
Hi there.
Quick reminder of Henry, please.
Sure. Henry's a private detective, again, sort of joined the Apollonian Society through, being present at the right or wrong time, as before. The werewolf was actually hunting Henry. So again, rather conflicted emotions in terms of the werewolf's demise. On the whole, it's a good thing for Henry. You know, less dog-based murder, but some degree of a sort of side portion of guilt, I guess you could say. You know, there was a small opportunity for us to potentially rid the werewolf of his curse, but yeah, we didn't manage it. So
Yeah,
we roll on, and you know, we've now found new things to be upset or terrified by.
thanks, Steve. Let's bring on Sam, who plays Hooks.
Hello.
Hey, Sam.
New things to be terrified by. Title of Johnny's next one shot. Yeah, so Hux is a bit of a vagabond. He's kind of an older guy, quite a big guy, bit of a traveler, not really used to having money or living in one place. And joining the Apollonian Society has been a bit of a change of pace for him, I think it's safe to say. But he's kind of embraced it. I think he's quite enjoying what he's doing. Feels like he's making a difference. Quite enjoys the company. So yeah, been sticking about. We're currently trying to find what's happened to Rupert and Eleanor, as we've talking about, and I think he's slightly more positive about maybe finding something now we found evidence that Vaesen were involved in at least what happened to that suitcase that was from the ship. So that's something, and we're currently up in that direction investigating. But I think I'm also angry because of this stupid fairy thing maybe in the B&B we're staying in that got us trapped in the house. So Hux is pretty pissed off because I mean, there's many reasons to be pissed off, but right now because of this fairy, if it's a fairy, whatever it is.
Thank you. And finally, let's bring on Justin, who plays Gale, Moslem
Hoi, hoi.
Forcemark. Hey, Justin.
How's things? Things are good. Good. Well, what's Mosling been up to? Mosling, you know, he's been chilling out. He's been enjoying the trip to the north. He's been looking forward to seeing these strange Selkies or whatever they're called. He's been writing down important notes, such as the words Elizabeth, Armstrong, and rescued, to add to Daniel and Longstone, all of which are words that have just popped into his head, not entirely sure why. Obviously, we know that he has a special ability to do with, you know, communing with the spiritual forces. But you know, Mosling, not that aware of him. You know thyself. He doesn't. That's his main problem. He doesn't know himself. So we, you know, entering the house, Mosling's being loud, distracting people. You know, all good stuff. And now we're looking forward to leaving the house. I guess going to the pub, collecting telegrams, stuff like that.
Now that you can leave the house, because yes, last
We
time
always had the window.
last time you were handed a spare key. The key disappeared from Hux's pocket.
Yeah, it was Mosling's
pocket.
Mosling's pocket. And then the woman who seems to be the proprietor of the establishment, very flustered, came and unlocked the door for you, and then took herself back off to bed at the very reasonable hour of about 6:15 or 6:30 p.m. So the door is unlocked and you are able to do whatever you want to do.
I think Hux will probably leave immediately, but me as a player, I'm just curious if the tapping has resumed or if there's now no longer any tapping to be heard.
There's not any tapping at the moment.
But anyway, I'm frustrated, so I storm out and go in a direction that I think the pub is likely to be in, probably not necessarily knowing where I'm going.
Yeah, I think having so yes, Olivia. Well, we presume it's Olivia, the proprietor. Yeah, gave me another key, so I had tight hold of this key. So open the door. Yes, I think at this point, now that the door is open, stepping swiftly through, maybe sort of peering back into the house from the other side. But yes, I think it's probably a good idea to group up, have a chat about this away from the house, and see what we think.
If you pause like outside of the house, I go, in the pub. I know you didn't quite vocalize that, but that's an extension of Hux's thoughts.
So you're looking back at the house to see if things seem normal. Is that the...
Essentially, yeah. Just, this is kind of weird. Yes.
Yes. Things don't... Yeah. You are
Okay.
outside the building. The inside of the building looks like you
Stays
would
the
expect
inside.
the inside of a building to look like.
It's not like a gigantic moor of some interstellar
No.
old one.
Not
Oh,
unless
good.
that also happens to look like the inside of a building.
If it did
That
look
could.
like that, you wouldn't comprehend it anyway. You'd just see a
This
building.
is true. Yeah.
So, why even bother? Mosling, after maybe being filled in about what happened when he was out of the room downstairs, turning over fortified wine jugs, decanters. There we go. That's the word. Says that we really should pop into the telegram office to check if anything arrived from us. We did say that we would have any messages forwarded on from us from the various police constabularies along the coast that might have located lost luggage, as the French call it.
Doubt. Yes.
French listeners, go in the
Oh,
comments.
please don't. We apologize. It's sorry.
It's just Gale getting out. You know what he thinks of the French.
I
Let's get to the
don't,
telegram.
but do tell us. Mosling's happy to go to the telegram office and meet you in the pub
Okay,
afterwards.
that's fine. Yeah.
Magnus is
also
happy to
happy to
go to
have-
the pub and have you meet him there.
Also happy to have someone accompany me if they want to.
I'll
I'm
pop along, might
gonna.
as well.
I was gonna go to the pub, and I'm going to make very, very sure that I remember the route between the pub and the B&B, just in case
Yeah.
we retrace our paths and it's not there.
Yeah, look around the B&B. Look at the places either side.
Just leave a trail of breadcrumbs.
No, breadcrumbs are like it. From a fairy tale point of view, breadcrumbs are bad news.
Did anyone try nibbling on the B&B while we were there, just in case?
Why don't you try that?
Maybe after a few pints.
Okay. I'm trying to figure out. Mosling, Justin, can you make an investigation roll for me, please?
I can. I definitely have dice at hand that I've got ready for this. And I have 2 points in investigation, and my logic is 4, for a total of 6. Does my camera help or my paper help in this investigation roll? Which are
No,
things
I
that,
don't
in
think
theory, help with
so.
the investigation. That's fine with me. I rolled 2 successes out
Okay,
of 6.
I was choosing investigation as a way of figuring out whether you might have written to the correct, because there are a number of constabularies. I was using this as a thing that was like the nearest thing for if you'd written to the correct one.
You should have let me count my camera. I have all of the constabularies of the UK engraved on the side of the leg.
Okay, yeah. You receive a response from a very small police station in Sea Houses, which is quite near where you are, saying that they have received, well, some luggage has washed up there.
Exciting.
Which is believed to be from a member of the...
And we're in Bamborough right now.
Yeah, from one of the passengers on this ship.
Fantastic news. There's no details, I imagine, on the luggage.
They don't give the name. They, they don't really know who you are, and they're probably not just going to send out that without having a chat with you.
Surely they've heard of me from my books. No, fine. It is an hour's walk to Sea Houses, so we could. I mean, is it too late to get a carriage and head there tonight? Probably.
I mean, you maybe could. It would depend on how comfortable anybody who had a carriage in Bamborough was with going in the dark. To
Cool. It's a 21-minute cycle.
I don't know, bike periods of time. It's still not even penny farthing, is it? We're still pre-everything, I think, now.
I could get an ambulator. They probably have those.
Probably.
Those are the ones that don't have pedals. You just your legs.
Oh, yeah. Perfect.
Just put it in context. Right. Well, I'll take that back to the pub, and we can decide at the pub whether it's worth, flagging down a carriage in Sea Houses in Bamborough, which maybe the castle's got one.
While that's been going on, I will have been at the pub ordering all the round of drinks, and I will also, after I've ordered the round of drinks, inquire to whoever's at the bar about our B&B. Basically just asking, is this place a bit dodgy? She was a bit weird. Should we stay somewhere else? Any rumors or anything?
No, I don't. She's all right. Is Livy?
Yeah,
I haven't seen her in a little while, but she's all right. Like,
fair enough. She was just a bit weird. That was all. Probably just a bit distracted by someone, I imagine. All right, we'll stay.
Maybe I'll pop in tomorrow and check in on her, because that's aye.
Yeah, it seems like she could do with it. She seemed a bit, bothered by something. Anyway, we'll be fine. Good to know.
Drinks for everyone, I presume.
Thank you very much. And I will go join the table with everyone else and do a shrug as I go over and go, yeah, we're probably fine at this place. Other than the other guest, I think she sounds decent enough. Sounds like it might be recent too. I think it was Libby, he said, has been a bit absent lately, but maybe not always. So perhaps this arrival hasn't been there forever.
Thanks for John correcting me that it's a velocipede, not an ambulator.
The term bicycle was first coined in the 1860s, though. So
There you go.
could conceivably call it a bicycle.
Right at the foundry.
Moslin comes in. Velocipede, such a great. I should have that as a username. I think that's just, just the most crazy username in the world. Anyway, so come in to the pub. Tell everyone that the luggage is washed up about an hour away in Sea Houses, and that's a good sign for being in the right place, right? Hopefully. If there's luggage washing up.
Yes.
Maybe.
What we came for, right?
Well, I suppose so. Although we now have had 2 pieces of luggage wash up, one here and one in Whitby. So distribution is still.
Yeah, we also got that lighthouse, though, haven't we, to look at? So there's reasons to be here.
But at least it's still 2 pieces of luggage and not large sections of a ship.
Yeah.
Also, I mean, it's a big old coastline. A fair bet if we had a peek at some lesser traveled areas, we might find some more. Maybe that's not worth our time. I don't know.
Well, our time is very valuable. That's why we spend it so efficiently. Yeah. So what's the thoughts on going to check out the luggage tonight versus tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
But
I'm not up for tonight. I've already travelled enough today.
And the barman doesn't think that we're living in some kind of murder house.
No, as I said, she was decent enough, sounds like. been a bit absent lately, so maybe this is a new
Absent
arrival.
lately.
But I
Yeah,
mean,
you said she was decent
well, I mean, I don't know,
before
there's
everyone stopped seeing her.
nothing dodgy or anything, you know. I think people still stay there and nothing. I think you would have said if, oh yeah, last week someone disappeared there.
Oh, and by the way, we have nice pies on the menu now.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, I wanted to ask. She hasn't come to us needing help. She doesn't seem to be in danger. Is this
Probably
the sort
fine
of thing
then.
we should? Well, is this the sort of thing we do or don't do as this society? I mean, it's a bit of a grey area, isn't it?
I mean, she seemed nervous.
If her behaviour's changed, that's usually a bad sign, isn't it?
Yeah, I agree, but I mean, are we here to solve every right in the world? I mean, she might not even want us to intrude. It's a bit of a presumption just to jump in, trying to save her and make her life easier without really knowing what's going on.
Well, why
I
don't
guess
we
we
ask?
should. Yeah, we should do some kind of welfare check, shouldn't we?
How do you propose we start that conversation?
I know
Away
there's
from the
something
house?
underneath your floors. Everything all right? That's an option.
Okay, we'll leave that one. Anyone got any other suggestions?
If we can provide a reason for her to be away from the house for a few minutes, we could have a talk outside, and hopefully that would be away from the earshot of whatever this thing is.
Sort of an in or out thing, though, isn't it? At the point we've done that, we're a bit. Well, we commit to things, you know. I don't know. I feel like part of me thinks she's, you know, she seems all right. We've got other things to be doing. Maybe just leave it to it.
We could broach the topic of fantastical creatures. Say that we're interested in the topic, and that convince her that we believe in such things, and that we won't be skeptical or mocking if she has any stories. Something like that could be a safe way in. Or
Moslin,
not.
she gave you the key originally, didn't she?
I thought so, but then I didn't have it, so I guess.
And other
she
objects in
didn't.
the house are
Upside down. I mean, it doesn't sound to me, apart from the knocking that you told me about, I'd have just thought maybe.
I suppose the first question is do we feel it's safe to stay the night there?
Yeah, I think so. I don't think we're in danger. Worst thing that'll happen probably is some of our stuff gets pinched, so keep an eye out for that. It's some sort of fairy, pixie, homunculus sort of thing, isn't it?
Does
gotta
sound feel like some sort of
I mean, stealing a key?
mischievous
Yeah, it's
trickster?
mischief. We'll be fine.
Famous last words.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose we could see what happens overnight. See if anything else crops up. It's a little bit unplanned, and
I mean, we've got nothing to lose. So
apart from our keys.
apart from our keys, only our chains. That's all we have to lose.
I mean, the other thing is if we get sidetracked for a week trying to track down one.
Yeah,
creature
I
in
know.
this
So,
house.
but my point being, we could go in. We're not here. We don't have a reputation in Bamborough to lose. We don't have a house here. We could go in something very peculiar, and the worst that would happen is that she has some good stories to tell about some guests from London.
I mean, is there anything wrong? I'm not really the official sort, but is there anything wrong with with approaching with the official line of the Apollonian Society. Not quite saying we're here to solve the problem of mythical creatures, but any strange going on that we might be able to help.
I don't know if we're that famous. I think the
wish I'd
Apollonian
heard of us,
Society is
but-
less famous than me.
It sounds official, It's got a name to it. You're like, oh yeah, we're with the society. We know what we're doing. If there's anything we can do to help, you seem like you might need to help.
I think we need badges.
I was going to say business cards.
Look,
Business cards.
Who are you
Look,
going to telegram?
I think we should just leave B and move on. She'll be all right. By the way, Huck's being slightly soulless here is because he's angry.
Cool.
In case people are wondering.
Cool.
I like that you felt the need to specify that.
I think everyone's looking at me like, why is Huck's being such a dick?
Not really.
Well, of course.
we do
Pause,
need to
Mark.
get a boat for tomorrow as well. So assuming that we're going to do that maybe in the afternoon or something after we get back from sea houses, or before, we could go before and then do sea houses afterwards. So that's another thing to arrange. I'm sure in this establishment there'll be some fishermen or egg poachers. What's the word for an official
poachers.
egg collector?
Egg poachers.
Guano handler, or some
People
seal
who-
clubbers.
people who get
Someone
burned eggs
that
and
can
things.
take us out to the island on legitimate business.
I don't think
Egg
seal
handler.
clubbing is a profession.
Well, yeah, the puffins. There's the puffins
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
island and the turnstones.
There is a name for the profession of people who
the eider ducks.
eggs from-
You would know,
eggers.
Mosling. I really haven't seen much. Of
Eggers or clubbers or seal furs or
Anyway.
let me name more professions that involve harming animals. It's just
Presumably there are coast fishy looking sorts in this
yeah.
pub.
Yeah,
Fishy
Right,
looking
Jonny?
sorts.
yeah, those lot. What townies we are.
Yeah.
And that one of those could take us out to the island tomorrow, surely. Even if there is a storm, I'm sure for the right price we could persuade them.
Yeah, how is the
Well-
weather looking? What's the
True.
forecast?
So where you are is sort of it is a little windy. It's not fully like turbulent, but it's gusty, and with sort of a smattering of rain. But your understanding is that nearer to the coast by steps would increase that almost.
Okay.
So
So a bit rainy and stormy out in sea.
yeah.
Well, didn't we read that they're trying to get supplies out to the lighthouse?
Yes, there was something
Well,
about
maybe
that.
we
yeah.
could find out.
But they couldn't. The recent paper, which may not be super recent, was saying they were trying to get some supplies out to the lighthouse, but they couldn't because of the storm. And that is where we were with that.
Well, I can
Maybe
try.
the situation's changed since then. If not,
Well-
we could see what they're doing.
I'll go ask the barman.
Surely-
Give me another round.
Surely, if any boat's going to be able to get out there, they're going to know which one to pick.
Or indeed, if they're
Oh.
travelling out with supplies, then we could maybe hedge a left.
Yes.
Right. Who runs the lighthouse from the mainland? Because I have absolutely no idea how lighthouses work.
My understanding is that the lighthouses are administered like centrally by central government, and then they are, the lighthouse keeper is paid, and then they arrange supplies to be sent from the mainland. I'm not sure if there's a mainland office for that corresponds to it, or whether they just purchase things from locals who ship it out to them. We could ask at the pub. I'm sure that everyone here knows the answers to that in detail because this is
Yeah.
their community.
Everyone turns to look at Jonny.
I knew a lighthouse keeper a way back. He complained all the time that the government left him to do his own provisions and stuff like that. They gave him kind of tickets and money for it, but it was never enough, he said. And he even had to fish for himself. So I don't think there's anyone on the land to do it for him.
I mean, you do have a lot of time on your hands as a lighthouse keeper. I imagine you got time to fish. Just putting it out there. The state can't cover all expenses.
Wasn't forced by being heartless as usual. I would go up to the bar, Jonny, and while ordering another round of drinks, ask about the kind of weather and the situation of the lighthouse. Because it's been in the news, it's probably the sort of thing I would have heard, you know. Be like, oh yeah, is that still going on? No one being able to get out there.
It's not been nice, like, but you know, we've just got to hope that that he gets back all right, and well,
or read.
we're hoping that. Sorry, what was that, sir?
Never mind.
Oh. Oh, that's a canny outfit you've got on, like. Anyway, aye. There's, I think every day, a couple of times, they're seeing if they reckon it's safe to go over and check on them, but nothing yet, I don't think.
Who is it who's out there? Just one person by himself?
Aye, at the moment it is. The current one's just there on his own.
Daniel Armstrong.
His name-
Right.
Aye, that's it.
I will turn around and look at you slightly quizzically, and then remember we chatted about it. Must be a grim time, stuck out there with no idea when they'll get back to you.
For all we know, he doesn't know there's anything amiss. You know, it's just bad weather, and he's not due to be back yet, so he could just be living out his days, reading his book, spinning his light round, and he might be fine.
Fair enough. Who's in charge of trying to get out there?
I think it's literally just some of the lads down at the port in sea houses are just, you know, they're worried about him and trying to head out, but maybe they're chatting with the police and whatever, but I don't think there's any proper concerted effort.
I see. Oh, anyway, thanks. It's just idly curious, I suppose. I wonder if I go with the drinks.
So heading to sea houses. That's the.
Yeah, I assume it's a small enough pub that you all had the conversation. It's not going to be a big pub, is it? Are there other folks here, by the way, Jonny, or is it more or less just us?
Yeah, there's a couple of others in. There's a youngish couple, sort of 20s, and then there's a table of people who might be fishermen or other sort of sea-based endeavors.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's not big. You could fit maybe 20 people in with some standing at the bar, kind of thing.
So everything points us down the coast then. Tomorrow, I'll wander over.
That makes sense. Nice that it's all coming together. I still don't know who this Elizabeth is from my notes. Can't remember why I wrote that down.
You've had that happen a lot lately, haven't you?
I don't know what it is. I'm starting to feel very peculiar about it.
I mean, I get the impression that most of the time people write stuff down, they know what they're writing.
I used to do this. Maybe I'm getting older. You know, my father used to forget where he kept his purse, and you know, he used to go on and on about it all the time. Maybe I'm just becoming forgetful. Maybe this wound has prematurely aged me.
You do still look awful pale. Get some more drinks down here.
That will help.
While we're on the subject of drinking, I wanted to use this time in pub to relieve my mental condition with someone. It doesn't really matter who with at this point, does it? Because it's like we're in a group chilling. So can I just take that off, Jonny?
You've got three PCs to help you with that, so that
Yeah.
makes sense. I wonder whether anyone here has got any good stories for my book. I'm going to go ply the locals for information. I'm not
Yes.
specifically looking for Selkie information, but you know, if it so happens to be that that's the
I mean, they must
fairy
have sort
story
of,
of choice.
local myths or
Um,
legends or that sort of thing.
What are you? Are we saying investigation?
Yeah, I'm getting information from my book, which I'm happy to be investigation. I'm happy to be any role you think is appropriate. It could be investigation. It could be something else.
I think investigation makes sense.
That's cool. Then I'll roll my 6 dice again. Can I use my paper this time for investigation?
Yes.
Fantastic. That's an extra 1 dice. So make 7 dice.
Guaranteed
And
fail.
Guaranteed fail. Yeah, I got no successes. I'm not going to push for that, so I'm going to be fine. That's just that, I guess.
You, everybody that you speak to has the thickest northeastern accent Mosling has ever heard, and maybe they've given you the most interesting stories, but you have no idea.
That's fair.
You occasionally
Realistic.
catch a word, but apart from that,
I'll go back
and
and
it's
go.
so fast.
Yeah,
It's so fast.
Amazing.
they kept calling me Duck.
This is full on realism right here.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh well. You did a good understanding the one at the bar.
He's used to speaking in an accent that's acceptable for us.
I just hope one of them said Elizabeth in passing and then just sort of...
Right, well, that's that then.
I don't know about everyone else, but I will probably get us some food at some point and then, just settle in. Nice chill evening until we get back.
Well, the sooner we get back, the more time we can spend listening for weird knocking noises.
So we should stay here longer, is what you're saying?
No, quite the opposite.
The
we
pub
start
is
the key?
I will check my pockets for the key.
The key's there. Yeah.
You shan't have followed us out. Sorry, Johnny.
The pub is because there's so few people, it is quite quiet. There's a nice warm fire, and you can hear the crackling of the fire as well as the sort of wind and rain beating against the outside of the building. So it's actually quite pleasant to sit there for a little while if you wanted to. A warm fire on a cold, damp evening is not to be sniffed at.
I will have to be dragged away to return to the B&B.
So we drink, we eat, we go back.
Sure.
Dragging Hux, kicking and screaming.
Yeah. Makes sense.
I'll join you later.
All right.
I mean, that is fine. That is absolutely fine. Who's sharing a room with Hux?
Wasn't it the two ladies sharing a room and all us three got individuals?
Yeah.
There were only
No.
3 rooms,
3 rooms,
I think.
There were 3 rooms, so somebody is on their own.
Mm-hmm. I like to imagine we haven't yet decided.
We all assumed that it would be us.
We just put B and Constance in a room, and then there's like 2
There's
rooms.
one room with a single bed and 3 suitcases.
Yeah. So basically, you're going to go into your separate rooms when I get back, and you're just going to get a random one of you who's going to get Hux, who's drunk, showing up.
I might hand the key to either Mosling or B and just sort of stay with Hux for a while to, keep an
Don't
eye
hand
on
it to
him.
me. I've lost it once already.
Well, that's true. I'll hand the key to B. Yes.
Enjoy some more drinks in the pub.
Well, maybe 1 or 2. I was
Not leave
wondering.
the angry, aggressive criminal alone.
I've removed the angry condition now.
Well, I was also thinking of you leave anyone on their own, and who knows what could happen.
Yeah, that's true.
Pixies. So, I was also wondering if the weather wasn't too bad to, maybe a quick walk up and down the beach or the seafront and just take the measure of the place, see if I can see anything. It's dark, so no, but
There's massive
just
sand dunes which will fall down.
nice.
They're like 20 meters high. That's not true.
Maybe 4 meters high,
Then maybe like
which
4
is
meters
enough.
high.
It's enough
It's
to
enough,
fall
it's
without,
enough. That's enough.
without realizing it's there. It's plenty.
20 foot high. That's probably what I meant.
But yeah, sorry, go on, John.
I was to say I'll wait up with the window open when you get back to let you in.
Of course, yeah, that would be yeah.
With the window open, class. Yeah. Right. Well, I'm heading back, and yeah, we can leave Hux his own room. That makes sense. That way he can snore it off, and no one has to wake him in the morning.
Steve, you could feasibly take a lantern and safely sort of walk to the beach. At Bambra, there are sort of little paths through the middle of the dunes, not like a stony path or anything, but there's like gaps between the dunes, which is how you would get down onto the beach. So yeah, you could quite easily go the wrong way if you didn't have lighting. But you can do that and head down and wander up and down the beach if that's what you wanted to do. You'll get soggy, but you're not gonna be in any danger of life or anything with the weather.
And presumably you can see the lighthouse from the dunes.
Yeah, occasionally, you look sort of right as it would be, and you can see a flash of light every sort of now
That's
and again.
kind of promising.
I will have joined you as well. Brought a bottle with me.
Of course.
Sometimes it's difficult to differentiate between the sound of the wind and the sound of the waves breaking against the shore, because it's pretty blustery down here now. Not much else to see. You don't see anybody else on the beach, and yeah, just this sort of occasional flash of light.
Oh hey, look, luggage. When Bonneville turns around, I go, gotcha. Sorry, I think I've had a bit too much to drink. Maybe we should head back.
Yes, perhaps we should. At least the lighthouse is still operational. That's reassuring in some way.
Looks an awful long way out from here.
Yeah, I hope the weather's better tomorrow.
Come on, let's go back. It's cold.
Yeah, we'll head back. See if the house is still there.
Yeah, all fine. And so B, Constance, and Mosling went back. Did you just go straight to your respective rooms when you got to the?
No, I'm quite curious about this sound, so I'm happy to offer to retire to the lounge with B, if which I think is in my mind is underneath the bedroom or near enough underneath the bedroom, but maybe I'm not imagining the place correctly.
No, not. It's kind of
Not
the
really.
other side of the building almost. So you're not directly underneath.
Is there a room directly underneath?
Not that you can easily figure out.
Access.
Right.
That's fair.
You could go digging around, but you haven't been told. So that there's like another door downstairs, behind the sort of breakfast bar, which you would assume maybe goes to a kitchen or some other kind of, utility area. You haven't been granted access to that theoretically, but
We haven't been told we can't go there. That's what I think. What I'm hearing is, and what I remember is that basically, this confused poor woman who was concerned about the creepy thing in the floorboards of her bedroom forgot to tell us not to go to places. So, on what so I might have heard it on the phone.
So are you going there?
Yeah, obviously, yeah.
Okay. Are you?
But I'm wondering if B's there with me. That's what I'm. If not, I'll go on my own. Absolutely fine.
Also, has Constance
I'm
gone
not
to bed?
scared.
Or is Constance just watching Modeling Forcemark kind of breaking and entering in this house?
Look,
I would say that Constance has gone to sort of turn in, do her evening prayers. Mosling is probably wise enough to think that she might not approve, so waits.
She's upstairs just
Just
praying,
gonna
forgive
go
my
make
friends for
myself
the
a
idiocy of their
sandwich.
actions.
I just want a midnight snack.
On the one hand, I did promise to keep an ear out for the door, but on the other hand, I don't want Mosling opening the wrong door and falling into a portal to faraway land or something. So,
You sure you don't want that?
Could be an interesting spin-off series.
How long
I'll
do you
follow
think you spent in the pub? A couple of hours?
Yeah.
if we had food, yeah.
So we'll say you're getting on towards 9 o'clock, I think, at this point. So, okay. Can you both... I'm assuming you're attempting to be stealthy.
Yes.
Sure.
So can you make stealth rolls, please?
I can. With 5 dice, I'm guaranteed 4 successes. I get 1 success.
Okay. I'm just gonna...
Rolling 8 dice.
Is
Probably
Mosling
just better.
taking the lead?
Yes, because why not? It's his idea.
1 success.
Okay. Yeah, you managed to open this door without sort of making any noise that you think would arouse suspicion from upstairs. Can you both make vigilance rolls for me as well, please?
Can do. I've got a great excuse for what happens if we get caught.
I was just so hungry.
I was just so hungry. Vigilance rolls. I'm going to push this vigilance roll because I would like to be vigilant, and in my 7 dice, I got 0 successes.
2 successes.
Well, I said I was pushing, and I still got 0 successes with 14 dice.
Oh dear. Okay. B upon so Mosling opens the door, and this is a kitchen area. So you follow him in, and as he's kind of looking in one direction, say you're looking in the other direction, and you see a sort of metal, like it's like a plate shape, but it's like a serving tray. You see is kind of doing that thing where it wobbles to land flat on the floor.
Does it make a noise?
Very little noise that you haven't noticed.
Right.
Like a kind of just as it lands.
But you don't think these are fairies, do you?
It's possible.
I mean, that the fruit at the house, I could just about manage, but I don't like the other ones. Sorry, I'm not good with fairies.
I know. Do you want to head back to the lounge?
No. I think we'll just keep our wits about us. I'll make sure to be extra vigilant.
Oh, good.
Can you hear the tapping noise again?
Do I hear a tapping noise? Nothing.
Do we reckon this kitchen is underneath the bedroom?
It kind of curves round at the back and into a larder. And that larder you think is directly underneath. And it's kind of a walk-in. There's not a door on it. So, yeah, there's a lot of, flour and dried fruits and things in here. And you're pretty sure that above that room is Olivia's bedroom.
Then I'm going to I'm going to see if I can kind of like get up on a step ladder or a stool or something and press my ear against the ceiling.
You could
maybe not, but like maybe I can't reach, but something that will get me close to that.
Yeah, you could either go and get one of the stools from the breakfast bar area, or you could see whether you think the shelves that are built into the wall are strong enough to hold
the shelves. The shelves, obviously the shelves. Obviously the shelves. Like that's obviously the decision.
Can you make me an agility roll for Mosling, please?
That's cool. 4 dice, so guaranteed.
Can I assist? I don't think he should do this, but if he is doing this, I'm going to try and stop him from killing himself.
Hold my cane. I'm just going to climb these shelves.
No.
Yes, so you can add an extra dice to your roll, Justin.
Well, because B helped me, I got no successes. So
I wonder how this
would have got
is going to look
successes
in a moment.
If that, so I'm going to push, and I still have no successes. Oh, I'm exhausted. Was that a noise?
Okay, yeah.
I can't get up there.
So you go to climb, and you slip a little with your left foot, and B kind of catches you with her shoulder and hoiks you up, and then the shelf that you are holding onto with your hands and the shelf that your feet are on both come away from the wall, and you clatter down on top of B and make quite a lot of noise. Yeah.
Well, I think this is fine. Am I covered in flour or anything like that? I'm good, right?
Yeah, you're both covered in a lot of things from on the shelves.
Right. I'm going to go back to my room. Hopefully she hasn't heard that.
Well, after about 30 seconds, she appears.
Cool.
And says, excuse, what? Are you okay?
Oh, fine. I'm sure I heard something coming from this larder. A knocking sound or a tapping sound?
Oh,
it sounded like there was somebody stuck in this room. I had to come see, and when I came, someone had made this huge mess.
No, I'm sure there was no tapping noise, but it's fine. Please, if you're not hurt, then please go.
I don't know how to explain otherwise this awful commotion. I mean, when we came in, look at the mess.
Don't worry. Don't worry. Please go and clean yourselves up, and I'll fix this.
Okay. Would you like some help? It might take. There's a lot of things to clean.
No, it's fine. Thank you.
Okay, we'll just go back upstairs then. I kind of like elbow B in the ribs.
Sorry about the mess.
No problem. No problem. As long as you're fine.
I'd have had it if you just held me. I'm gonna make a move. As I'm saying, I'm not saying that in front of them. Not blowing my cover. But yeah, let's go back. We'll go back upstairs. I'm assuming that if B's not heading to the bedroom while this mess is being cleared up, I'm gonna push B towards the bedroom lightly. Not my bedroom, obviously. Her bedroom.
Right.
Just leaving flowery footprints through her.
I was
Take your shoes off.
Pause at the door to the kitchen and listen to how she's going about fixing this.
Yeah, okay. You rolled well on vigilance before, didn't you? Okay, and Mosling's going to clean himself up.
Yes. Yeah, I've done everything. My work here is done. I've achieved all the success that I need to achieve.
Is Mosling a Vaesen, some sort of chaos goblin?
Might be why fairies like him so much.
It's true.
We should try exercising him. Has Constance tried throwing holy water on him?
Yeah, that's an idea.
Okay, you hear like sweeping and sort of picking up and moving of things, and then you hear a. You don't hear exactly what it's saying at first, but you hear a voice that you don't think is Olivia's. And then you hear her say, "Oh, stop it, please stop it." And then you hear, "Stupid, get rid of him, get rid of him." And then a sigh from Olivia, and then she continues doing what she's doing.
Sounds nice.
I will go and clean myself up.
I would say that maybe while you're kind of deflowering,
Oh no!
that was
Look,
not
great
on
wording.
purpose.
God. Cleaning yourself up.
Yes, you hear Bonneville and Hooks rock up outside.
And I'll go down to let them in.
Still got that
Do
key
we-
then. Still got that key then.
Yeah, probably. Don't. Yeah. I'm just gonna say yeah.
I'd assumed the door was locked and you'd unlocked it for us, and I said that, but maybe that wasn't true.
That would make sense.
Oh no, I've
Yeah.
lost it in the great flower tumble.
Sorry, it's been a exciting evening since we got back.
Oh, is the creature turned up again?
If you mean Mosling, yeah.
And you were keeping an eye on me, Bonneville.
Dare I ask what happened?
Why don't we go to your room and the books and talk it over? Away from the kitchen.
Okay, that sounds reasonable.
We're going to the shared men's room
Yeah, yes.
because Mosling's there in like a nightgown reading a book. Like, you can come in. I just didn't expect guests.
I really like to imagine Mosling, although he's like wearing a full nightgown, including cap, being really like, oh no.
It's very it's a very modest gown.
Not in the night clothes.
I thought maybe we want to, well, see if we can look in the books. Haunted
For
bees.
haunted B&Bs. Right, okay. That's fine.
But
What's gone on? Something's clearly happened.
There's still a bit of like flour across Mosling's face. And obviously didn't get all of it. His hair's gone prematurely white.
Gone grey, yeah.
Like, I explained basically that I thought it'd be a good idea to investigate the kitchen underneath the room of this bedroom that supposedly has this knocking sound, and I took a small fall. I'm not yet recovered, I think, from my injuries, and I managed to knock over some confectionaries and
shelves.
ingredients and shelves. But I think I played it off very smoothly.
Well, we're not kicked out.
I will turn to look at B at that point.
B has zero expression on her face and like a single streak of like flour still down the side of her hair.
Oh, this sounds like it's going to be an eventful evening. I'm going to bed.
Did you find anything in the lady's bedroom, B?
I didn't go in a bedroom because I'm covered in stuff. I did wait outside the kitchen. I heard her talking to someone, and I heard the other saying that she needed to get rid of us. She didn't sound scared. She sounded exasperated. So that seems, like it could be worse.
Potentially reasonable given the circumstances.
But it doesn't exactly sound like she's happy with it.
That humility I hear from Gail.
I mean, her kitchen's a state.
Now,
Well, yes. No, I can believe that would be very frustrating. Sometimes I even think that what's the name of that butler? Hawkins. I recognise that Apple makes such a mess.
I've probably hovered in the doorway and just gone. So, is exasperated something we act on or something we ignore? Also, you heard its voice. Does it sound like Apple?
No.
Fairy, we know.
Apple doesn't talk.
Oh, yeah, true.
Didn't sound like the Pixies either.
Something new then.
It spoke English, so...
There's a fair few small Vaesen, I think, aren't there? So, another one.
I'll
At the very
do
least, it
some
would be,
evening reading if there's time this evening. Is there time this evening?
Yes.
It's about a 9, right?
Excellent. Perfect. Pass me my bag. I imagine I'm still in bed under like a blanket. And I'll pull out, yes, this book will do.
It's exhausting wrecking people's kitchens.
Look, I didn't mean to make a mess. I thought that it would be... the shelving units gave way. How was I supposed to know that they couldn't support my meager frame?
That shelving units put up to support jam jars couldn't support you. No.
Well, I suppose they did have a lot of jam jars on them. Maybe she overfilled them.
Okay, I am going to bed now. If you need me, come get me.
You have your own room. I apologise, Bonneville, but I will be up reading for a little while.
Well, I'll be joining in and looking through some of these books as well, if that is an option.
Yes.
Think I have some volumes that are...
I'm happy for you to both make a separate learning roll
Logical
here
learning roll.
rather than a helping.
And the books will give you a +1 if they count for both of us.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm fine with that.
And can I roll as well?
Mm-hmm. Is anybody still due +2 from Constance's?
Bless.
Yeah.
Not me.
No, sorry, not the blessing. The having brought the right books with her.
Oh. I haven't done a learning roll yet, I think.
Okay.
No, I have. I learned about the seals.
Okay. So maybe nobody's
I can't
due
remember
one.
now.
I think
would
you might.
be
They
if
might
I
have
did
been
learning.
used. Yeah.
I rolled 10 dice and got 1 success. So pretty
rolled-
good.
5 dice and got 1 success.
I rolled 10 dice and got 3 successes.
Ooh, very nice.
Okay.
I
was
gave
gonna
you all
say,
the good
Jonny.
books.
Johnny, could I make a case? I don't know if I could roll for this or if there's any point in doing it at all. Could I make a case for Hux lying in bed and just racking his brains? Because I feel like, he's known Vaesen for a long time. I like to imagine that I could just be like, I saw something that looked a bit like that sort of size.
You can look at the pictures.
Not that I know what it's called, but I might know a random fact or encounter.
Yeah, sort of,
something like that.
meddlesome house guests.
Yeah,
Sort
like,
of,
because I in my head, it's been at least 30 years.
What is your learning? My
My learning is 0, and my logic is 2. So if I was rolling that, it would be a
I
terrible.
mean, that seems
But I
like
can do.
a fair roll.
Sure.
Like,
Yeah. I was going to say maybe at a -1, but actually with 2 dice, I'll
With
let
2
you have it.
dice. Come
Yeah.
on, double success.
You could argue you know a lot of things, but 90% of it is completely unsubstantiated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
did you
think
get 2?
I rolled no successes. So
Damn.
give me something unsubstantiated, Jonny.
You think that maybe it's this guy called Colin that you know, who used to play pranks on people, which were very similar to this, just flipping things over.
I think
Colin,
Drunk
was he a
Hux
caterpillar?
Yeah. Drunk Hux is totally convinced of this, but I suspect Sober Hux will not mention it in the morning.
Right, okay. So between you, we'll say that Mosling and B at a similar time kind of stumble upon this idea of a boggart. But that then Bonneville happens to be the one with the book with the most information available. So you find a couple of stories in a folktale book, which kind of follow on from each other. So the first one is about a group of outdoor boggarts who are very dangerous, and they sort of prey on travelers on the road in groups, kind of luring them, similar to some of the other things that you've read about or encountered, kind of luring people into dangerous situations, making them crash their carriages by making them go in certain directions or whatever. And in this particularly grim story, the first person that is led astray in their carriage crashes. There are 2 people in there, and one of them kind of escapes, but realizes that as he's fleeing, his friend is being eaten by this group of boggarts. However, you then read a second story about basically a household boggart who is quite different in that it is mostly like a trick player, occasionally sort of shouting abuse at the household from the shadows. And some of the tricks involve making noise so that people can't sleep for days on end, which is what happens in this story. It basically bothers this family, and they move house to try and get away from it, but it has no effect. It just follows them. It seems to be, if you're talking about it as a haunting, like if it was a spirit, then it's haunting the family or a person rather than a building. And this family eventually managed to get rid of it by basically beating it at its own game, and causing it such a large amount of frustration that it leaves. In this case, by making a deal with it that it can't win. So they basically say that it can stay in the new part of the house that they are going to build, but the family are very poor, and basically years pass and only the foundations of this bit of house that they're going to build have been constructed, and that the boggart ends up leaving and presumably going to bother somebody else.
Right.
Okay. That's not exactly a short-term solution. Well, at least we know what it is.
I'll give you one more thing, actually. They realise that they can keep it out of a particular room by either hanging a horseshoe on a door or spreading salt in the doorway.
Didn't manage to knock over any salt in that lodge, did I?
You don't know. There was a lot of white powder.
Just cocaine everywhere.
Have we noticed any horseshoes on the doorways of this place? Because it was quite common at the time, wasn't it? Still quite common now in old houses.
You haven't noticed any.
Well, that's lovely. I'm glad that we've solved that one.
I wouldn't exactly call it a solution.
Well, if we move it on, it will just bother someone else. So maybe we need to find a permanent solution for it. A la Hux. Could be more dynamite Hux.
Surely on a Constance. Anyway, Hux is snoring in the other room by now.
That's true. Maybe we can trap it in a house of horseshoes. Very tired right now.
Perhaps it's time to get some sleep if we can.
Yes, that would be good.
I wonder if the horseshoe can help trap it in something rather than trapping it out.
Potentially. At least we need to find some horseshoes first, but perhaps that's the job for tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
I get the hint, Mosling.
I'm very tired, sorry. I just something about after the fall, I'm just
You didn't hurt yourself or anything, did you?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I just feel that maybe I shouldn't be climbing shelves.
I'm sure we could have told you that.
My shelf climbing days are over.
Hindsight is accurate. That's what they say. Crystal clear.
How about you keep both feet on the ground until you're feeling better?
Well, we shan't be doing that in the boat.
Good night, both. I'll head on back through.
Yeah, retire for the evening. Oh,
Can everyone make me vigilance rolls, please?
I feel like I should get a minus for being drunk, sleeping, and also how Hux sleeps.
Yeah, okay. Take a dice off.
Yeah, go with me for suggesting.
I have a dice off for being frightened.
Okay, that's still 7 dice.
Ooh.
Oh, no, logic. 5 dice, that's not so good.
I rolled only 6 dice and got 2 successes.
I also got 2 successes.
I
We're all
got
really
no
vigilant. Oh, okay, we're not all really
Other
vigilant.
than B, who has really good vigilance.
Okay. B. You get a really good night's sleep.
Excellent. That's surprising.
Mosling, Hux, and Bonneville, if you don't have the exhausted condition, can you take the exhausted condition, please?
That's
was
my
a
secret.
check.
I had the exhausted condition already.
I'm so mad that it was a bad check.
Amazing.
You are
and exhausted.
every time you are about to fall asleep, there is a noise of some. They vary. Sometimes it's a tapping. Sometimes it's the creaking of a door on a hinge. Sometimes it's the scraping of a chair or the opening of a drawer, or all things that are completely explainable as things that somebody might conceivably be doing. But it keeps you awake for a very large portion of the night. So it's one of those things where you wake at first light and you feel like you've just closed your eyes 2 minutes before. Constance also slept poorly, but not quite as poorly as you three.
Dire. Well, given that I'm not sleeping early, can I get up early, go to a stables, buy a load of horseshoes, and gift them to the landlady as a present, as an apology for falling over in the kitchen? There are footprints on the shelves. In London, all of the B&Bs are doing this now. It's very in vogue, as the French say, to have these up on the walls of the house or the doors.
For luck, I suppose?
Mostly for luck, but these Londoners, being one myself, I can tell you they're very, they appreciate the style, but also they can be quite suspicious, and I think that they do appreciate the luck. Just a thought. These ones obviously are not used. I got fresh ones, and I think the used ones are more lucky, but I think they'll do for the aesthetic. Most Londoners aren't so discerning. Most of them have never seen a shoed shoe, so to speak. And I do feel like I don't know if maybe I probably shouldn't have been in the kitchen. I probably maybe that was a foolish mistake of mine.
I think Hux will come down the stairs and just be like, "Come on, Gale, come sit down." Just dragging you away from the fire.
He's apologising. He must be seriously messed in the head. Anyway, that's my thing. Just think about it. Think about it. Think about the shoes.
Think about the horseshoes.
Thank you.
And I hear there's tomato sandwiches somewhere, or did I get the tomatoes last night?
No, I think some may have survived, yes. And she goes into the room that you now know to be the kitchen.
Good.
Horseshoes? Where the heck did that come from?
Didn't Bonneville say something about horseshoes last night? Oh, you weren't there. But basically, did you sleep well last night?
No, that thing was making noise all night, wasn't it?
Oh, yes. Well, it's about that. Maybe the horseshoes will help. Maybe they won't. They only cost... I probably paid too much for them. Out of towner prices, but...
Yeah. Well, I suppose it will help. I must admit, I'm not feeling too keen on staying here again tomorrow night. It's going to destroy a business, isn't it?
Well, if it was, that would be the kind of thing that the Apollonian Society would be seeking to do something about.
Yeah, they would, wouldn't they?
But it does need to be... But there's more pressing things to deal with. A failing B&B in a crummy town like this. Sorry, Bambra. I don't mean it. I don't mean it, Bambra. I love
just a dick.
It's Mosley talking.
The castle, though I've never been, is quite adequate. So yeah. I think we could we could walk. It's only an hour's walk to the sea houses, or we could see if we get a carriage.
So yeah, we'd do good this morning, I think.
Do you feel up to an hour's walk, Mosley?
Oh, an hour's walk would be very good for me. Stretches the muscles, keeps you limber. The sea air is supposed to be very good, as Huck says. So,
all right. But remember, we can't get a carriage halfway through.
I've done more walking. Well, maybe not the newbie, but certainly than Constance. I'll be fine.
Choose the player who's not here.
Choose the player who's not here.
Okay, weather is much the same as yesterday.
Is there anything else we want to do before we head out?
I mean, are we taking our luggage with us, or are we leaving it here?
What luggage?
Leave it here. What luggage?
Some of
That's
it's
the
heavy.
jacket he's wearing.
Right. Then we're staying another night then.
I mean, we can always have it. We can always have our bags sent for. We could, there's things. There's things.
Bear in mind, anything you leave here might not be in the same condition when you come back. That thing doesn't want us here, does it?
Well, not if there's a horseshoe on my door.
Is that?
Well, I hope so. I bought her enough for all the rooms in the house.
How many did you? It doesn't matter.
They're not expensive. They're horseshoes. They're And I've got the dead aunt money.
I think we should make dead aunt money a meme.
Let's not.
Let's not. That's not one of your most winning ideas, there, Sam. I don't want merch with dead aunt money on it.
Okay, fair.
But yeah, I'm happy to walk. Happy to get set off as soon as we have our tomato sandwiches.
Mm-hmm. Well, we've done some good with horseshoes if he uses them anyway. Has she wandered by putting horseshoes up yet?
No, she's frying up some tomatoes at the moment.
Cool.
I mean, the instructions weren't entirely specific either.
No, but I'm not telling her how to run her own business.
No.
I don't want to appear too forward.
Didn't a bit too forward last night when you're climbing up them shelves.
It would be rude to suggest how I'm not going to teach a woman how to nail horseshoes onto her door. I'm just going to climb all over her larder and knock on the shelves.
God forbid you were ever rude.
I'm not a rude person, said Mosley, completely unaware. Anyway, yeah, no. Are we all good to set off once we have the food?
Yes.
I wonder if
Unless
there's
anything
any
else happens
more
here.
boggart interactions before then.
Mm-hmm. Now we'll check in with B one more time to make sure the key is present before we leave.
Do I still have the key?
Yes.
Then yes.
Yeah, she brings sandwiches out and says, so well, I hope you enjoyed your stay. It's been lovely to have you here.
I mean, we may be returning tonight.
Oh.
If that's
Yes.
all right. So if the B&B is not open.
Oh no!
evening,
Yes,
then-
yes.
Yeah,
Of
maybe
course.
you're
That would be...
maybe you're booked out. You don't have to.
No.
Happy to pay in advance.
No. All fine. Yes.
There's a small chance that we may need to have our luggage sent for if we stay the night in tea houses, but the plan is to return tonight, unless
Yes.
unless anything terrible happens.
Yes. Either of those are equally fine, and I'm certain nothing terrible will happen.
Good. We're going to be trying to make our way out to the islands, and it's a bit stormy, so there's every chance that. Well, we should be back tonight. Let's hope.
Yes, hope. Well, I should, and she picks up the horseshoes and starts walking up the stairs, shuffling in the way that she did last night.
Wonderful.
Before she goes, I will say the local barman was asking after you.
Oh, yes. A lovely man.
Just wanted to make sure you're all right.
Oh, yes. Fine. Yes, please tell him I'm fine. She turns and shuffles up the stairs. Occasional sound of horseshoes clanging together.
Coconuts.
Yeah.
She's just going up the stairs with coconuts, pretending to be a horse. You see. The year, folks. She's perfectly fine. I'm
That's good.
convinced.
That's good. Well, off to see houses then.
Yeah, I guess we should. The more I'm here, the more I feel like we should do something with this poor lass now. But
No, she's fine. We'll see how the horseshoes do. It'll give it a day to see if that treatment works, and maybe she finds the whole thing sorts itself out. And if not, probably sleep better tonight. And
What did
we can fix it tomorrow?
What did we think it was, by the way? I know about the horseshoes, but I missed the chatter last night.
We'll discuss it on the walk. Too many ears.
All right, fine.
Hope the barman does stop.
Sorry, what was that, John?
I say I hope the barman does stop round.
Yeah, so you head out. Similar weather. You notice in the daylight, the sort of the gradient of the clouds gets darker as it goes towards sea houses, and then you're not sure if it's some kind of optical illusion or whatever, but it then seems to sort of get lighter once it gets past that area. You're kind of certain, semi-certain that if you look and you view it all as a sort of circular area, that is like an epicenter of worse weather and then it kind of dissipates outwards.
It's all odd weather, isn't it?
Did
Just
we
hanging over
read
the
that
island.
Did we read that the Selkies can cause storms?
I don't think so.
And we know that they can sink ships. Did they sink the
Selkies?
ships?
No, I don't think that's Selkies at all.
Or was that sirens?
It was the mer people, wasn't it? Or
Mer
whatever.
people. Well, maybe some. We read that something could cause a storm, right? Maybe I'm misremembering. I'm so sorry. My memory is really not where it's supposed to be right now.
They were the ones we thought might have sunk the thing. That's right, isn't it?
That's true. Yeah, maybe it was the sirens can cause storms, and Selkies can cause
Fish.
fish. There definitely was something involving tears, right? Do we ever work out about the tears?
Something about a maiden's tears can summon a sulky?
Yeah,
Well, I'm sure
that's
we'll
what you were
resolve
saying.
all of
Right.
this. All of this will.
Either way, though, even if it's not magical, it is odd, isn't it? Look at that. Clouds hanging over the island specifically. Barely even see them in the gloom. She looks all right, though, over there. I point in another direction. And what? Papers said it's been... No one's been able to get to the island for a while now. Was it weeks? Can't remember.
Or we can check with the Blythe Herald if we need more info, I suppose.
Yeah, well, I'm sure the folks who've been trying to get out there will have more as well when we chat to them at sea houses. Yeah, we'll see. Not long now, I suppose. Are we walking along like a coastal path, Johnny?
It's up to you. You can literally walk along the beach if you want to, or you can walk kind of up past the dunes.
If we had the choice,
there is a footpath that goes along.
if it's not like way long, it would be long because walking on the beach is harder. But if it's not way long, I would choose the beach because then we can just see if anything happens to be there while we're walking.
They're basically equidistant, and you could walk sort of near the waterline, and then it wouldn't be as hard work walking.
Yeah, that would be my vote. I don't think we're going to find anything, but it's always worth a shot.
Yeah, so it takes you about an hour, and the weather does worsen as you get closer to sea houses. Sort of incrementally, you know, there's no sudden worsening, which, like, I don't know if that potentially makes it seem stranger to those who are paying attention to it, that it literally seems to be, you know, like a gradient as you're pretty certain that you could take 20 steps back and the weather there might be what it was before you had taken those 20 steps forward.
I'm sure that clouds are supposed to move.
Is there any wind, Jonny?
Yes, there is, yeah.
Yeah, it
But
should
the
be moving,
storms
shouldn't it?
staying in the same place.
Seems to be. Apart from the wind blowing the rain towards you or away from you, depending on which way you're facing.
It's a bit weird.
You arrive in sea houses, and the weather here is particularly bad. So it takes you, just over an hour to get here. You're sort of probably wrapping your coats or whatever you have on around you and kind of pulling the hoods in because the wind's sort of whipping. You've probably both had your hood or maybe even lost a hat as you've been walking down the beach, as these things have blown off your head.
Remove hat from equipment. Would you go so far as to say the weather is inclement, Jonny?
It is, yes.
It sounds past inclement.
No,
No,
we were in sea houses.
inclement. Yeah. Inclement is like the worst possible weather in Britain, I'm pretty sure.
I think
Given everything is understated.
I think the first Call of Cthulhu session, I said it was inclement weather about 4 times. But yes, it is definitely inclement weather. So because you've walked directly along the beach, you sort of end up at this. It's not a dock so much as like a section of the beach where there are boats, dragged up like fishing boats, and sort of crates with netting over them that are like pinned into the sand, which is basically what passes for a dock here. And there are a number of workers similarly with their sort of waxed, coats, kind of holding them over themselves and attempting to do whatever it is they're doing, pulling the nets down and tightening that to try and stop anything from blowing away. So there are 5 or 6 people here, we'll say 6 people, all doing this kind of stuff. And a little further along and up off the beach is sort of the main bit of sea houses. And you can see the lighthouse light closer now, obviously, than it was directly out to sea from where you are. That you catch a couple of glances from these people kind of wondering what the hell you're doing. Because they wouldn't be here if they didn't have to be. So what on earth is this group of 5 people doing wandering along the beach right now? But that's it. They don't interact with you out of choice.
Well, we need to go find someone to take us to the island.
No, it looks like this weather's going to stop us again to me. No one's sailing, are they? Let's go find somewhere to warm up a bit first, shall we?
Should we try the constabulary?
No, it doesn't sound that warm. Go on then.
No, but it does have some luggage.
Cool.
Let's make our way over that way then.
You work your way through the town. There isn't that much going on here. It's reasonably easy to find the police station. You pass what you presume is an officer going out, but again, he's sort of cloaked and heading out to do something. As you head in and drip water everywhere, somebody comes over. Morning, can I help?
We telegrammed a few yesterday, perhaps, about some whether there had been any luggage washing up on the shores of sea houses. And we were informed that there had been by a telegram.
It was me that wrote you back.
Excellent. Well, we're looking into the loss of the boat. I said at this point I'll pass the card over. I do have a card that has me at the Apollonian Society, but it's not like an official Apollonian Society. I have had this in other episodes too, by the way, just to put it out there. And say we are assisting in inquiries. I have a personal stake in the matter. The boat that we think has gone missing and this luggage may belong to my own aunt was tragically sailing on it. So what we're really here to look for, me and my associates, is any evidence that might lead us to the cause of this loss, so that we can properly inform the relevant parties.
Can you make I suppose a manipulation roll, or
well, I would say
I'm
going to say I'm deceiving someone for my own personal gain, and so I'm going to make an inspiration roll if I can, using my journalist talent, and that would give me a total of. Well, it would if I had to take account of my condition, it would only be 8 dice, but actually, because I can ignore my condition,
one of them can help as well. I mean, you could just say investigating on behalf of Wilson Line, maybe.
Oh, is that because of your new talent, Justin?
I have always had wordsmith for a long time, which lets me ignore conditions on inspiration rolls. So I can ignore conditions on inspiration and learning rolls, which is basically all the rolls I make. So I'm very happy with that setup.
I can push a sheet, one of the passenger lists across the table, on the Wilson line.
If we think that counts as an assist, then I'd be happy for the dice.
Yeah, have an extra die.
Okay, so we've got 10 dice, and I rolled 3 successes. That's more like it.
He sort of, while you are talking, is looking at the Wilson Line passenger manifest, and he looks up as you finish and goes, "Aye, that's him," and points to a Samuel Taylor on the list.
Samuel Taylor,
and says, "Aye, you can have a look, but I'll have to keep an eye on yous."
Absolutely.
No offense, but it's police business.
That's quite right. My colleague, Mr. Bonneville, is the best at the he's a investigator.
Oh, very nice. Well, yous are a lot nicer than that chap from the ferry line that rang us. Anyway.
Oh, yes. We've heard some things.
Aye, well, so have I now. Anyway, and he takes you through to a room, and similar setup to last time, brings the trunk in and lets you have a look.
Lovely. Okay. Well, I think this time I might actually try the other skill that I have at my disposal, which I just need to find the description of. So 2 seconds whilst I dig through the rulebook. This is the stems from the insight that I gained a few episodes ago. So eventually,
Sorry for landing you in it, Steve.
it's all right.
My associate from Bonneville will handle the particulars.
Here we go. Insight. Okay. Yes. So this particular insight that I had, which was the absolute empathy insight, allows 4 things. One is just a bonus to rolls. There are a couple of other interesting ones, but the one I'm particularly interested in this situation is vision, which is you have a supernatural experience, a prophetic vision, or an intuitive understanding of a problem. This provides a clue you need to solve the mystery. The game master sets the scene and gives you a clue. In some cases, the insight cannot be used in this way. The game master decides.
Pretty OP.
Okay.
But I did nearly die to get it, so you know.
That's good. Johnny's just there going, shit, I have to think about what the...
No,
what the-
it's good. It's good.
And it might not succeed, or does it always succeed?
Oh, well, I mean, the game master can just
Okay.
deny,
Is there,
but there's
is there
no
a
rule.
roll?
Yeah, but this isn't
wow.
this isn't like the other one where it's like extra successes give you X. This is just
This is
a
just
talent, isn't it?
Bonneville's
basically?
having
Yeah.
a strange vision. Just like puts his hand in the luggage and goes,
I will attempt to,
Yeah.
perhaps you can sort of distract, if anything odd.
Yeah, I'm
Mosling's the
curious.
best
It's not
at
like
distracting.
fairy dust, sort of like you're out of it for however long. Vision, is it? That might be a little
I
awkward.
don't know.
Don't worry, he's just investigating.
No,
laying
it's
on
the second
floor.
time I've used it.
Okay, so you are you sort of touching the luggage trunk, and
Yes, I'll sort of. I guess I'll aim to open it, so I'll have one hand on the side and one hand on the catch or something, and just pause and see whether I get a reading.
yeah, okay. So you see almost a time lapse. So it's like you are seeing through somebody else's eyes, and you see how knowledgeable of the world is Henry?
Well, there's a question. Knowledgeable of the world. I mean,
Like sort of Scandinavia and
God.
Northern Europe.
that specific part of the world, I guess. Is the real question how knowledgeable is Henry of
I mean,
Scandinavia?
I can
That's
give
a different
you,
question.
my logic is 5 and my learning score is 4. If that
Okay.
gives you,
I will describe it as it actually is, and Henry might not know that this is where it is. So basically, you see some fjords and some large mountainous areas, and then it kind of so this is basically like a time lapse with bits that slow down, which you assume to be kind of key points, maybe. So you see that, and then there's a speedy movement, some of which appears to be on a train, and then you see kind of, you can tell from the bobbing that's kind of walking, and looking down, you see the luggage trunk in your hand, and you are heading towards a ship, and then it kind of skips ahead again, and you are playing cards, and you can tell from the kind of movement that you are on the ship at this time, and it's sort of bobbing, and then time lapse again, and then you see you are still in the ship. There is water coming through the ceiling above you, and you are presumably running, it looks like, and you look down, and the trunk is in your hand again, and then time lapse again, and you are bobbing in the sea with your arms over this trunk, And then you see the trunk floating away from you, and things go dark. And we'll leave
Take
it
2
there
mental
for the week.
conditions. Jesus Christ, Johnny.
Damn.
Yikes.
Damn,
Yikes.
that's fun.
Well, oof.
I was really wondering if you're going to switch to like a trunk perspective for that end part.
Yes.
You see Samuel
Me too.
Samuel Taylor drifting away from you.
Uh-huh.
Does
John?
not bode well for Rupert or Eleanor or Aunt Gwellinhook.
Doesn't bode well for, hey, maybe the ship is still out there somewhere.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks everybody that watched. If you have any questions or comments, please put them in the chat. Other things on the channel: Wednesday's Simba Room, nothing this Thursday. Next Thursday is Wicked Ones. This coming Sunday, the 12th of November, is Grok, our one shot for the month. Links to everything, social media, Discord, Patreon, YouTube are below the stream. I think that's everything. Let's do XP. You're going to get one for identifying a Vaesen this week, aren't you? Did you participate? Yes, one.
Yay.
Did you confront any Vaesen? No. Did you identify previously unknown Vaesen? Yes. Were you affected by your dark secret? I don't think anybody was, but you can answer that yourself. Did you take risks to protect other people? Was Mosling climbing the shelving a risk? I'll leave that up to
It was just
your...
not to protect others.
Did you
He's a
take
risk
risks?
himself.
Just did, yeah. If you took
Just
risks,
taking
that's
risks.
Have you learned
Well, I didn't-
anything? Yes. Did you develop something in your headquarters? No. Did you perform an extraordinary action? If you had climbed the shelves,
that would not be an extraordinary action.
for
Climbing
Mosling, I
a
think
set
it
of
would be.
shelves. No, surely not.
I think 3 XP for most people.
I have 2 points in agility, by the way.
Is that as in you have 2 points in agility on top of your physique, or you have 2 physique?
On top of my physique,
Okay.
I have 2 points in agility. So I have 4 dice for agility.
That's- Yeah, I wouldn't be trying to climb shelves with.
4 dice. That's not bad. 4 dice is actually not bad.
4 dice is better than 50-50 for rolling a 6, I suppose, isn't it? Just.
Yeah.
If you
And
believe.
yes, this was climbing a shelf, but it'd be the same roll to do an assault course. You know what I mean?
I still don't think I climb up a shelf. I'm not sure about low bearing with a 50-50 chance. That's
Well, that's why Mosling's more lucky than the Hux, because the Mosling takes risks, and you've got to make your own luck in life. He says covered in jam.
Nightface's comment just then. It was such a perfect turn of phrase. Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember the tentacle mispronouncing. Oh, good times.
I don't.
Oh,
Yeah. Well, there's only one thing.
I'll
to
go
be
back. I
changing.
remember where it is. I'll go back and find it. It's fine.
The worst thing was that particular person had tentacles in their mouth.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh my god, Game was Monk is so John Cleese. You're so right.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
No,
Ganglions and
please
everything.
no, please no. These I don't know. John Cleese is I don't know. He's like Basil Fawlty is more malicious than Mosling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's.
I like Mosling's great real error is not maliciousness, but merely ignorance and a failure of imagination. Like, that's his really, the lack of he just can't imagine enough to be empathetic. That's his big problem.
I think we're really pushing the not malicious part here.
He's not malicious. He's just an idiot. Like he's,
God,
which
yeah.
is I suppose the intentions don't matter. The effect is the same. Like.
Oh, that's nice. Thank you, my mate. Malvois?
Yeah, thanks, Malvos.
Yeah. No, we're very much enjoying it too. Wicked Ones is going great so far.
That's a fun.
I need to catch up on it. Actually, I might watch that tomorrow.
Recommend. The first session is especially entertaining. I mean, it's all good, but the first session we had a lot of fun with that.
Was it session 3 this week? 3, 4?
4, I think.
I think, well, it's the 4th session because I called the first one session 0 because it was like world creation. So.
Yeah.
Nice.
There you go, oologist.
Is that oologist or oologist?
It's ool.
Oologist.
When you got 2 O's, you do ool, I think. I think I've heard oologist said.
I have a
Slash
copy
oology for the egg study / collector.
I have a copy of the old Collins guide for egg collection in my bookcase. I should go find what term they use for it. They don't sell it anymore.
Please don't do this.
You know,
should have a checklist for yes. Do not collect these ones.
Yeah.
This is illegal.
Please, no eggs.
Yeah. I'm not going to make jokes about any ornithologists who should know better making mistakes with their collection. Otherwise, there'll be some problems.
Ornithologists will be after you. Oh, that made me laugh so.
I really like this one. I don't know why.
You both managed to avoid the extensive glockenspiel collection behind the door.
Nice one, Steve. I think that went very well.
Was that when they rolled well on stealth?
Yes.
Yeah.
Just before
the yes.
You should have had the shelves full of glockenspiels at that point, Johnny. The idea was ready.
If it had been a shelf covered in clocks, that would be
collection of handbells.
I was like, I can't have you push this with help and fail both of them and not have it be bad.
Oh yeah, 100%.
There's no way out of this.
There's no way that I wanted like when you offered me the choice between a chair and shelves, I knew what I was getting myself into. Like,
I also love how you've created a really weird landlady for this B&B, and somehow Moslin Forcemark has still been weirder than her. Like, if you compare the amount of weirdness both of them have done, he's actually out-weirded her.
Yeah,
perhaps that might annoy the boggart, you know.
Boggart might find a new friend.
Yeah.
Oh god.
I'm trying to make
the
this
boggart is very
possible,
welcome to join us in the Apollo in Apollo House.
In Rose House.
Rose House. I don't know the address that's on my card. I just get someone to drive me there.
I'm really glad that I managed to get my favourite mannerism of hers in again. The swift turn, as John said something as she was walking away. That's one of my favourite things.
That was great. It's so characterful. I love it.
Good work on the Geordie accent, Johnny. You've
put it
out of the bag this time.
Very good.
I had to remember.
I did wonder whether it was going to crack at any point and create another weird Vaesen incident.
Are we now going to go? Are we now going to go back to the B&B and Olivia's going to have a really thick Geordie accent? Just it'll weird us out even more.
Do you think the posh accent was because of the boggart?
She's trying to impress the boggart.
Maybe if I impress it, it'll go away.
Oh goodness!
Also, I think you should put up Nightbite's most recent comment just because it made me chuckle and it's adorable.
Yes,
I'm going to be thinking about that from now on.
Yes, tentacles, one of many words that sound more fun when pronounced the same as Heracles.
I've got a similar joke, but I can't say it because it relies entirely in cat. No, it's not rude. Just it's clean. It's just I can't. It works on pronunciation, so saying it doesn't work. Oh, hang on.
I see your point. Well, we'll have to stay on stream until Steve posts this.
While Steve is typing it out, thank you to Nightbites for the resub. And thank you to Daughter of Acrisius and Malvos for the follows.
Thanks.
Thank you, everybody.
Good on it, John, for staying on it. We're going to get Steve's joke yet. Is it coming?
Stop putting pressure on him.
I've just realised the original joke. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That should be an E. I've missed the pressure.
It's fine. It's fine.
It's a great joke.
It's a good one.
It is a good joke.
It is a good joke.
I really like saying volcanoes. That's so fun. I'm going to say
for anyone who's only listening to the audio of this, what is the most dangerous type of canoe? A volcano.
Volcano. Yeah.
Volcano.
You see that's where it all falls down.
Can you imagine if people
it's a
said
good Christmas cracker
volcanoes?
joke.
I'm just going down the river in my cano. Oh no.
I'm sure there's an accent somewhere out there in the
Johnny.
world where
I've just
the
put
joke can be
another
told.
writing requirement joke.
Oof.
Oh.
English kids are kind, but German kids are kinder.
Terrible. All right, well,
This must be the Christmas
on
episode.
that, oh goodness me!
We could
Save
go
it for the
like
talent
2 hours.
show at the end of the year.
Yeah. This is going to be a round
Save
table
it for the
discussion for 2
talent
hours, telling tales.
I want a talent show episode where your characters have to do a talent that you can actually do. I don't want that.
God.
Wow.
Anyway, we should probably go now. But we will see you next week. Simbaroom on Wednesday and Grok on Sunday in the meantime. And then we're back next Monday evening. Thank you very much for joining us, and hopefully see you at one or more of those occasions. Goodbye.